Well, g'day YouTube. As you can see, I've got junk. Well, not everywhere, but certainly more than enough crap. Yeah, the Rangewood's acting sort of a bit like a, a rain shade, I guess you like, if you like. This I haven't done any videos on, but I bought this for under 200 bucks, and it had actually done. It had a brand new engine put on it in the real early 90s. The guy who owned this was like, he was 90 odd, I don't know, a year or 2 years ago when I got it. And he's gone into a nursing home because he's blind and he's almost deaf. So, yeah, the engine did 30 hours after it was put on, and then he bought another ride on that was bigger. I've still got the rest of the mowers. I haven't done videos on all of them. They're all covered up at the moment. So, air compressor's got a tub on it. Rusty, knock it off. This is what I've been working on. So you guys have been wondering where I've been at. You might notice that if you have looked through any of the videos, there's a shed in the backyard. This is one of those Chinese kits that you can buy online cheaply. The biggest piece of advice I would give if you're going to put one together is don't use Phillips head screws to join the panels to the frame of the shed. Use proper tech screws. And the roof, what I used was metal screws. I don't know if they're for roofing or what they are, but I'm going to bring these into light because it's pretty dark in there. Obviously it's got no power yet. These are what I used for the, they're wood screws, sorry. Doesn't really matter because they'll go through the thin steel stripping. So that's what I used for the roof. And yeah, I've just basically put things in here. Like, it's pretty dark in here and you're not going to see much, but so I've got the Victor 18 that has hardly any wheels left. Power tools, which I obviously couldn't put in the other shed. So this has got a proper concrete slab, and the dog obviously approves. I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out. So I've just got street lights and all kinds of different things. There'll be some videos happening on all of that. I obviously haven't finished putting the shed together, but I thought I'd give you guys an update on what's been going on. So these kits aren't too bad for what you pay. They're not too bad. But yeah, I'd throw out some of the fasteners. Like, I didn't use half of what came with it. The instructions are going to be your biggest problem if you're going to put one of these together. The instructions are very vague and the pictures are very small and grainy, but you can see how the roof is done. It doesn't have anything between the trusses when you get to where the walls and the roof join. So I've got all this 45 by 90 treated pine that I'm going to use to fill that in. And I'm going to screw the roof down onto the pine. So, this stuff has pretty much all come out of the house. Like, massive pile of paint. The street lights. I mean, this street light here, like, to give you an idea, it's quite large. This is a B3000 for anyone playing along at home. But I've got meters and stuff. This was all in the house. All of this came out of the house. So all this stuff was in the spare room and the lounge room, and you can see why it's been such a big problem. I got some of these good office lights. I actually got polished clear anodized aluminium reflectors. So they're fantastic lights. They're too good really to use in the shed or anything. So I'm just going to go get some cheap fluoro lights from Bunnings or whatever. But as you can see, I've been pretty busy. Power to the shed, don't know. I mean, it has to be done properly and legally, and I'm not for a second going to say that I'm doing it myself, because obviously that's illegal, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing myself. I'm not paying an electrician to dig a trench. I mean, why would I do that? The trench has got to be 600 deep. I'm not going to pay someone to do that. I'm not going to pay someone to bolt fluorescent light fittings up. I mean, it's not hard to do that stuff. But I'm obviously going to have to draw a line somewhere, and I obviously am going to have to get someone to do some connecting. I mean, whether or not I run the main cable to out the front of the house and wire the shed up to what I believe is legal. I do have a copy of the rules anyway. Then get a Sparky to come out, correct any mistakes I've made. I'm not really sure. I need to save money. I don't want to do anything illegal, and I'm not really comfortable working on switchboards anyway, because obviously they're very dangerous. But on the other hand, you know, the wiring in the shed, if there's no power connected to it, I'm not breaking the law, and Sparky can always go in, cast his or her eyes over things and say, look, you know, this is wrong, I'm just going to fix it, no worries, whatever. You know, so you do have to be a bit careful. Yes, I got a permit for the shed, a professional concreter, because I'm not a concreter and it's another trade that I get no interest in learning. I mean, you know, a lot of people said, oh, why didn't you do it? Yeah, but look, honestly, there's a beam cast around the perimeter of this slab all the way around. And to me, it looks like it's actually thicker than 100 mil, this slab. It actually looks like it's 125 mil, 130 mil. So we only paid for 100 mil. But yeah, it is definitely more than that. It's a heavier slab than what we paid for. But anyway, also if you are going to put up a shed, just throw out the crap bolts they give you with it. Like, this is a secure bolt. Like, the ones they give you with the shed are kind of a joke, but that's where the saving comes in. It's not that the shed's crap, it's just that, you know, what they include in the kit might cost them like $1 or something. This is like an $8 or, I don't know, $10 or whatever, I can't remember. Maybe it was as high as 15, but so basically this is pretty secure, and then the bolt just slides it out like that. It's a hell of a lot more secure than what came with it. These master padlocks are absolute junk, but look, junkies and stuff are not going to run around Benalla with lock picking sets and the know-how to actually use them. I mean, the people that are going to break into your shed are going to probably not have any tools on them. They're probably just going to have a screwdriver maybe at the most, but then the police pull them over and search them, so they're probably going to have no tools. They're probably just going to be opportunistic. Just they're going to come and check if you've locked your shed. So I suggest you actually lock the damn thing. The front doors, I haven't put the bolt on yet. The doors aren't really straight or anything. The way it bolts on is kind of ridiculous, because this thin sheet metal, there's actually a structural, I'll actually show you, you know. So what's behind there is this RHS. Then we've got the thin tin and air. So there's nothing really behind that tin between here and the front surface. So I'm not really sure what to do with that. What should happen is probably that gets removed and a piece of timber gets put up, but that sounds like too much work to me, so I'll figure it out. One thing for sure is these hinges are crap. I mean, like, you may not see that on the video, but the hinge is twisted, and that's only from the impact gun. I mean, it's not like I tightened it really tight. So I suggest you get better hinges, because these are, you can see they're so thin. There's no strength to the hinges, and the way that bolts on is just ridiculous. It should have like a plate. But that's really low dollar things to fix. We're not talking about lots of money. The kit still is good, and the Australian made kits were 4 times the price for pretty much exactly the same thing. Like, the Australian garage kits that are like this still have the same crappy Chinese bolts, so we're just buying them basically from China. I mean, we're just cutting out the Australian sellers. I mean, do you blame us?